Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 416 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Let's go with the first major update from Joker. Joker is topping the box office for a second weekend in a row, taking the number one spot with $55 million, dropping a low 43%. That's the exact same decline as Wonder Woman, which went on to have a long run. Total now an amazing $192.7 million and on track to easily smash the $200 million and $300 million marks domestically. Now, to go into worldwide, Joker is on fire in international markets with a sensational $123.7 million this weekend, dropping only 29%. Worldwide, stellar new totals are $351.2 million overseas, with a whopping $543.9 million at the worldwide box office. This one might just reach the billion-dollar mark, people. This is coming from Gitesh Pandya, which I follow for box office news. This is incredible. This is incredible, guys. Joker in the second week in a row, topping over $500 million worldwide, quite possibly getting to the billion-dollar mark. It actually declined much lower than Black Panther as well, and Black Panther reached $1 billion. So this is incredible news for the studio, who let Todd Phillips make the movie that he wanted, for the studio in terms of the idea of making a dark and serious tone DC film. This is a plus. This is a plus for director-driven studios. This is a plus for directors that want to go in another direction than the light-hearted comedy-filled action comedy. This is great. I can't wait to see more that comes out from this. In fact, they'll probably greenlight all of Todd Phillips' other ideas of his DC Black films, and I'm really wondering what those films are. But it also signals a new direction, or at least a different direction that Warner Brothers could take with DC films, meaning they can go ahead and stay on the path of DCU lighthearted, but that doesn't mean they'll shun or not even do any of these dark and serious tones of things like character study films, something that's not even in the shared universe as well. They are able to do more and to make great stories without making films by committee like other movies like, I don't know, Justice League. So this is a great direction. This is a great thing for Warner Bros., for us as well as the audience, as we really want to see a variety of films from Warner Brothers, a variety of content from Warner Brothers, and to having a movie like Joker, like this, who was just berated, controversial, but able to make this stellar amount. The box office shows, the audience speaks for itself. They want this type of movie, and Warner Brothers is definitely going to give it to them in future installments as well. So I am really happy that this is going on. Joker is a fantastic film. If you have not watched Joker, what are you waiting for? Go out in theaters right now and watch Joker. Now, talking about a little bit about divisive and controversial and films that were definitely destroyed by the committee. There are some interesting things coming out from the Snyder Cut now. This is coming at Kai QMGT. He was able to come out with some of this new. I haven't really seen this before, although Chris Vinaldo did say that they have posted this on the For Snyder Cut, Fiona Zhang's For Snyder Cut official website. So you can go into the link description below and check out this photos and other concept art that you may have missed, but go ahead and check it out and see what is there. He does say that there are some Justice League stuff that you can witness as well. So if you're really interested in seeing some of the Joss Whedon part version of the work. There's another link in the description below for that as well if you want to burn your eyes. But from this, we get to see a little bit more of that room, that museum, or that place where Gal Gadot, playing as Diana Prince, she walks down with her torch, witnesses, sees Darkseid, sees the murals, but I have never seen this shot before of a pulled back of her looking at the mural. There's also some concept art over here as well, and a bigger, better, non-invasive shot of the actual mural room. I know Real Anarchy and Sir John Aaron Garza had talked about this before, about the mural and stuff like that, but this one shot of Gal Gadot looking at this mural, I don't think I've ever seen that before. But it just brings you back memories of Justice League and how you're looking at this, which they cut out of the film, a gigantic mural. And people worked really hard to put this together. Instead, they went with this ugly chalk drawing on a wall during the scene where Bruce meets Aquaman. And it's just childish in comparison. How do we go from this spectacular mural to that child drawing? It's a complete joke, and it's almost like they're making fun of that Zack Snyder's film right now. So I cannot wait to see the Snyder Cut, and I cannot wait to see some of these scenes. And just to further kind of show how dumb Warner Brothers and Joss Whedon and all those people who worked on Justice League, who tampered with Justice League, how dumb they were. Take a look at this shot here, also revealed by @KaiQMGT. This is Superman with the beard and mustache, mostly the mustache, but pretty much looking like August T. Walker from Mission Impossible. And I gotta say, just looking at that, they really should have just left the beard and mustache on. At least he looks normal, right? I mean, he could have grew it out. I don't know how they'll play in the story. I mean, they really should have just shown the Snyder Cut in anyway. But if they didn't have to waste all that money to take away the mustache and beard and make it look much worse than him having a mustache and beard. And also, I just want to notice the lighting as well. The lighting sucks in Justice League. They really did not know how to light Michael Wilkinson's incredible suit, to the fact that Michael Wilkinson's suit in the behind the scenes sets, not even filtered, looks much better than a lighted shot of the same suit in the actual movie. Now that's saying something. I mean, that just shows you the incompetence that is Warner Brothers at that time, and having let them actually approve this movie to go out in theaters is just criminal. And to further hurt more of that, go ahead and check out forsnydercut.com and look at the photos, look at the things, and just to remind you of what Snyder Cut could have been and could still be, and hopefully we'll get that later on in the future. But I'm really happy, though, that Zack Snyder has kind of, in a way, almost done with his Army of the Dead movie. And in this little clip video, it looks like he's having a wonderful time. So that was probably, I think it's a rap party, I guess, over there in Atlantic City. He's having an incredible time with the Army of the Dead cast and crew. I am so happy to see him just really back in the game with that. He posted on Vero today, almost finished, showing of course, the skeleton, what kind of looks like the I don't know. I guess it's supposed to represent Army of the Dead, Las Vegas. I mean, I can see the headpiece where the women would wear that, so I could totally see that in the case. So he's pretty much indicating here he's almost finished with Army of the Dead, and we get to actually hopefully get to see a teaser, a trailer pretty soon. As you know, he doesn't not go into post production. Right now in this day and age, like Jay Oliva says, when they're shooting, they're doing post-production stuff as well. So it's not like they're waiting for everything to be shot before going there. It's in tandem. They're doing it at the same time. So we'll probably get to see a lot more of that. And even cooler, we just found out that Sean O'Connell from Cinema Blend, remember Sean O'Connell? He talked with the Nerd Queens about the Snyder Cut and stuff like that. Well, apparently he was also went to the set visit along with Paul Shirey from Joe Blow. So that means that's 2 out of I don't know how many bloggers got to go and visit Zack Snyder, got to go to Atlantic City to see the Army of the Dead set. This is his little, he doesn't reveal much because I think they're still under embargo, but he reveals a little bit about the story and things like that. But if you want to listen to the whole thing, go and check out this link in the description below to that podcast, Cinema Blend Podcast, Real Blend. It's around the 36-minute mark, but the entire podcast is pretty enjoyable and that. He does go into a little bit about the synopsis of Army of the Dead, where all the zombies are, the last of the zombies are walled in Las Vegas, and a person who, I guess some rich guy, of course a rich guy, has all his money in a Las Vegas casino, and he hires Dave Bautista's team to go and retrieve that. That's the premise of the whole movie. And he recounts about Zack Snyder being totally in his element. He's having so much fun, and it's so exciting to watch him work. I wish I could have seen that as well. And also talks about him actually going into digital. He's been doing film this whole time, and now he's actually seeing the positives of going to digital. So I think that's where Zack Snyder is going to be for how he shoots, at least for that film, and maybe from now on, who knows. So it's really exciting to hear about that. Nothing much about the Snyder Cut. He does tease a little bit about the Snyder Cut, about the billboard, because the other 2 people on the Real Blend were interested in that. But I gotta say, Sean O'Connell is such a cool guy, and just recently, just like Paul Shirey, very positive, very optimistic about the Snyder Cut. It's almost like he also learned something from the Army of the Dead set. I mean, Zack Snyder's right there. They're able to ask him any question. The Snyder Cut has probably, and very much so, have come up. And what is revealed at the Army of the Dead set in regards to the Snyder Cut, who knows right now? But I'm thinking we're gonna find out really soon, and I hope it's really good news for Army of the Dead fans, and for Snyder Cut fans, and I'm just so happy Zack Snyder is back in his element, making films that he wants to, making films that he is able to without anybody telling him otherwise. And I think Netflix is the platform that he's able to perform that, and I'm so happy for him and for the cast and crew members for Army of the Dead, and I can't wait to watch Army of the Dead. Also, can't wait to watch the Snyder Cut as well, which I'm still optimistic that it could still come out, and maybe even soon. Who knows? But hopefully we hear more about that when the embargo lifts about that set visit. Who knows when? I'm hoping it's like next month, but we'll see. So the next thing would be the last and very least is James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Now, people are thinking a lot of things about the Suicide Squad, especially when the new set leaks have happened. We see his costumes, and a lot of people, still don't like James Gunn because of his the way he behaves online and such. Also because he's Marvel and he seems like coming in. Although he does kind of say that it doesn't matter between Marvel and DC. They were cool that he worked for DC before he goes back to Guardians of the Galaxy, but But we're kind of wondering, well, how is it going to be? Is it just going to be, is Suicide Squad just going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy movie? Well, he actually responded to someone here at Scott D. Working, and this is on Instagram. That person asked him, what's the most challenging movie you've ever worked on? James Gunn replied, they're all challenging. Super was physically brutal, so much movie and so little time to shoot it. Volume 1 was scary because I didn't know if people would get the vibe. Volume 2 was the hardest because of my mental state. Squad is the most complex and biggest, but also the most fun so far. So I guess overall Volume 2. So that is interesting, where he said Squad. The Suicide Squad is the most complex and biggest, but also the most fun so far. Complex and biggest is interesting, thinking that the Suicide Squad was going to be a lower budget, a smaller movie. It's a team, not a heist. Well, maybe it could be a heist or a rescue mission at that, and that was going to be it. But having him say it's going to be most complex and biggest, aside in comparison to Volume 1 and Volume 2, which I thought was pretty big and epic in itself, I am kind of really intrigued by that. What does he actually mean by it? Does he actually mean that it's bigger in terms of physical effects rather than CGI heavy special effects? Because for the most part, Volume 1 and Volume 2 had a lot of green screen. So there's not much to see it very epic in there until you actually watch the movie. But for the Suicide Squad, maybe there's actual physical locations, actual physical explosions, physical action effects and stuff, which may appear to be complex and bigger to him. Or is the movie really much more epic and big and complex than what we initially thought? Because I was still thinking it's still going to be a smaller, very small movie, kind of like Birds of Prey, and not going to be anything epic or blockbuster to that effect. But maybe it is. But we'll have to wait and see about that. But the other thing is it going to be very similar or different to Guardians of the Galaxy? Someone asked them, Let Loose the Kraken says, are you stylistically going for something different with Squad, given its similarities with Guardians of the Galaxy? James Gunn replied, to me, they are very, very different. But both films are made by me, so in a way, he's thinking that he's making a totally very, very different film, and it could very much be so, but he also kind of puts a warning there that both these films are made by me, so you'll probably see some similarities between the films because he have made both films. But to me, it's intriguing that he says it's going to be very, very different, meaning he has every intention to make the Suicide Squad its own thing rather than be a copycat of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I hope that's the case. But we shall see, shall we, James Gunn, if you are able to pull off the Suicide Squad. All right, guys, well, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.